Let's move now to France, whose Orthodox Jewish community has been rocked by a police raid on a religious boarding school for teenage boys in the town of Bussiere outside Paris, arresting the entire staff of 16 teachers and administrators for alleged child abuse and neglect. Now, dozens of students from the Beth Yossef Yeshiva, mainly from the United States and Israel, have been taken into state care. Authorities say the abusive conditions have gone on in the seminary for years and were recently exposed by Israeli media reports. One former student from Beth Yossef spoke anonymously with I-24 News over conditions there.
So I was there for a year and 3/4. And yeah, my experience is horrible. Like most of the stuff that I'm seeing, like I'm reading from the articles and like I'm seeing the interviews of most of the guys that I know that are interviewing, it's true. Like whatever they're saying, it's a horrible place. The reality is that the place it's run down, broken. The dorm rooms are in horrible condition. I was on the 3rd floor of the building that the dorm was in. On the floor, we would literally, you can see there was holes. You can see downstairs, the rooms under us. There was plenty of physical abuse. Every person went through it differently. My experience was I was physically abused a few times by people that were in charge, never by the heads. It's very important. The heads, they didn't physically abuse me. It was, they would send people to punish us if we didn't listen to them.
And joining us from Paris, journalist Eduardo Quay. And Eduardo, I understand from reading about this is quite a serious incident. The certainly biggest police action of its there in France against a Jewish school or institution.
It is definitely the biggest action against a Jewish school or institution, and the first time that the entire, as you said, faculty and staff have been arrested. The reports we have here tonight is that the children are under state control. They will remain under state control for at least 5 days while they try to get in touch with the families. Also, as you said, most of the children are Israeli nationals. About 25 to 30 out of the 46 appear to come from Israel, the rest coming from the United States.
Right. Apparently, there was a case this summer in which one of the U.S. students actually fled the school and ran to the U.S. Embassy there in Paris, I guess asking asylum.
Well, I don't know if he was asking for asylum, but he was certainly running into the embassy here in Paris and telling the diplomats what was going on. And it was at that point in July that the French began investigating. The question now is, especially given the images that you have just shown, is why has it taken so long for any action to be taken by French authorities?
All right, and is there being calls like why this wasn't dealt with early? Apparently, this has been going on for years there.
Yes, no, we have no, there's been actually quite very little press coverage up to now in the French press. Story was broken by Le Figaro newspaper, but it didn't play it up too much. Maybe tomorrow there'll be more play. But no, for the moment, we don't have any more information other than the Israeli ambassador did visit the children yesterday. He says they're in good shape, that they are being fed kosher food, and that the authorities are trying to get in touch with the parents, presumably so that they can return home.